Well, joining us live now in a rare simultaneous interview, McCain Senior Advisor NICOLLE WALLACE and Obama Senior Advisor Robert Gibbs. Hello.
How are you?
You guys, we need to do this more often. You should come on together. This is fun. Usually we have to do one after the other, so we appreciate you both coming on at once. Robert, let me start with you since the accusation was against your campaign. She's taking issue with the statement made by David Axelrod that said Barack Obama did not know of Ayers' history when they sat down at Ayers' house in 1995. First, do you confirm that as the truth? And second, I'll give you the chance to respond to the governor.
Yeah, look, David was absolutely correct. Look, what I think you've seen from Governor Palin and from John McCain's campaign over the last 4 days is what media organizations have called desperate and dishonest attacks. Look, this campaign has run out of ideas, and they're almost run out of time. I think what people want to hear tonight is how we're going to put people back to work, how we're going to keep them in their homes, how we're going to cut taxes for middle-class families, which is what Barack Obama will do.
But Robert, let me ask you,
people deserve
before we
to hear
spin off
tonight.
into the talking points, I just want to stay on point with this because I want to give you the chance to respond. Here's the response we get. Okay, if Obama didn't know it in 95 when he sat down with Ayers in his living room or wherever in his house, when did he learn it? Because he had an ongoing relationship with William Ayers at least through 2002.
Well, let's just be honest here. They knew each other. They worked on two boards, but as the New York Times said, they weren't close. Look, let's get back to the big issues.
But you
that
didn't
frame
answer
this
the question.
debate.
You didn't answer the question.
I don't know exactly when he knew. But look, here's what I do know. The American people deserve a debate on the issues that are important to them, on the economy, on making health care more affordable. Maybe that's the John McCain we'll see tonight, somebody who's interested in talking about the issues.
Well, I think, the response to that, Robert, is that they think character is an issue, and they think this is an issue of character. And, Nicole, I want to get you to weigh in with your thoughts on it. Do you think, after your candidate came out and said Reverend Wright is off base, we're not going to touch it, do you think it's fair to be going after Obama now in this William Ayers connection?
Well, let me throw Robert a lifeline here and say that nobody in America is sitting around the kitchen table trying to figure out if they're going to be able to make the mortgage or worried about the price of groceries or the price of gas. Nobody cares about Mr. Ayers. Neither do we. What we care about is that Barack Obama described him as a guy in his neighborhood. You just heard from Robert, that's not the case. He was more than a guy in his neighborhood. He was a guy whose home he was in when he launched his political career at a coffee in his living room. Those are the facts as I understand them from that precious, reliable source, the New York Times, that Robert just described. But let me tell you why it matters. Because when he looks people in the eye and says, I'm going to cut taxes on 95% of the American people, he's not telling you the truth. His policies are going to decimate the one bright spot in America's very sick economy, and that is our small businesses. We've lost 700,000 jobs.
All right, I didn't let Robert get into the talking points, and I'm not going to let you do it either, Nicole. That'll be for your candidates tonight. I understand you both say they want to talk about the economic issues. Robert, let me get you to respond on her accusation about the relationship with Ayers, because it does tend to be, there are a few more points than the ones mentioned in the New York Times. And I also want to ask you, when folks talk about this, they say, look, it's not just the Ayers issue, it's a judgment issue, because they bring up Reverend Wright, they bring up Father Flager, they bring up William Ayers, and they bring up Tony Rezko, and they say, at least 3 out of 4 of those guys appear to be America haters. Why would Barack Obama have ongoing associations with them?
Look, let's get back to what Nicole talked about. I can't understand what in the world she's talking about. One minute she said that people sitting at their kitchen tables wondering how they're going to pay their mortgage, they don't care about these things. And then she went on to say why this is so important and why people care about it. I think people want us to talk about the big issues that face our country. How are we going to keep those people in their homes? How are we going to keep them from losing their jobs?
Okay, but back to my point, which is the judgment issue. I really want to give you a chance to respond, because we get a lot of these emails on it. How do you respond to those folks?
And you know what? I want to respond to that, but I want to respond to the judgment issue. The judgment where the McCain campaign says we have no desire to talk about the economy because when we talk about the economy, we lose. The American people lose when these two candidates don't talk about the big issues.
I'm running out of time. You're not going to get the chance to respond on an issue that's important to a lot of folks. So this is the last chance. I'll give you a one-liner on the judgment issue with the relationships.
I trust Barack Obama's judgment over John McCain's any day of the week.
Okay, and Nicole, I'll give you the final word, because your guy has not escaped unscathed either. A lot of questions being raised by Obama about his relationship with Charles Keating, a guy convicted of fraud back in the 1980s. They say he was on the wrong side of regulation then, and they don't think he should be trusted now.
There's no debate raging in America about who John McCain is. The American people know him for better and for worse. There are a lot of questions about who Barack Obama is, what he believes, and what he's going to do. And our only issue with Mr. Ayers is that he's not telling the truth. And if he lies about his association with Mr. Ayers, how do we know he's not lying when he says he won't raise taxes on every small business in America?
All right, guys, they're playing the music, which officially means the party's over. But Nicole and Robert, thanks so much. We appreciate you coming on.
Thanks so much.